What an intro. Thank you, Pato. Thank you. The long-awaited finals for team, well, I'm calling it the Kabam team, and the Canadian team, which is featuring Claymore, which is pretty much in the U.S., but we're going to go ahead and just call them Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I know that Hey Kelso, stream admin Hey Kelso, is really rooting for Team Canada because of Claymore. She used to work with him, so she at least is pulling for that team at the current moment. But we have some quick bans coming out here, and Nidalee and Katarina are completely targeted at Bishu, or Hichu, as he's changed his name to currently. But he is known for playing Nidalee and Katarina, played Katarina a lot during the tournament because he got to play Nidalee one game, then everybody realized he's ridiculous at Nidalee and decided to ban out for the rest of the game. And if you go to that guy's twitch.tv channel, you will find Nidalee plastered everywhere all over it. So it's a good hint that you should probably ban that guy out.
Yeah, and just, between what we've seen from these teams, we know the Canadian team did not lose a game. Flawless through pool play, through the semifinals, whereas the USA team went, undefeated in pool play and then dropped one game to the other Canadian team who will be competing for third place. That was the team with GG Ice and Griffle. I think they're going by Mochi's ugly face. No offense to Mochi Balls. It's actually more of a shout out to Mochi, who was unable to make it. And so right now, there's no way they're going to block in Fiddle.
I don't know. Have you heard about the new AD Fiddle? It's a really strong bot, and actually I'm trolling you. That's not actually a thing.
But here we go. They did drop one game in the semis, but it didn't matter. They pulled it through. They actually crushed in the third game convincingly. Otter got a chance to play. No, sorry, not Otter. Kabam got a chance to play a Mumu, his love, his passion, and just dominated. It was godlike in like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, he was 13-0-11, and I believe we were commenting on like the fact that you were saying like, oh, he's already had his end game build. And it's like, what is he gonna build next?
Yeah, it was
games are usually over at this point.
Like 20 minutes. And so at that time though, the Canadian team, we had a couple members come over, Longley being one of them, and I think Roshan, and I said, hey, what do you guys think about this Amumu play? Are you going to ban it? And they immediately were like, nope, he can have Amumu all he wants. So I think they have somewhat prepared for that, and we'll see. I know Kabam being a fan favorite, people would love to see his Amumu and really put it to the true test.
Yeah, and I remember you did ask me, you were like, are they going to ban him? And like, just knowing that group of players, especially Roshan now, it's like they're not the type of people that are gonna like overreact to players, and they'll test out and see, because like in their mind they're like there's no way Amumu is worth a ban, and until Kabam proves otherwise, which might be this game one, we're probably not going to see the Amumu ban.
I know Longley said, I will straight up counter jungle him if he goes Amumu.
Yeah, some serious trash.
Which would mean he's not going to counter jungle with Malphite. So if they are anticipating a counter jungle, it would probably not be Malphite. But Malphite is a really strong pick. We actually saw Malphite pretty much go undefeated when he was allowed in play at the EoS tournament. I know when asking Kuniv, who did not get a chance to play in fives, but specifically made mention that during Judgment play that Malphite was just like the key to victory, if it was on the other team. And so... I mean, there was basically a game where Vertebreaker, shout out to Vertebreaker, who was MVP of Judgment 2, Griffle was playing ADD, he was playing Corki, and literally every team fight was Malphite ulting in, just staying all over Griffle, and Griffle couldn't do anything about it. And Vertebreaker, being a solid top player, already had an early advantage top, he was pretty much unkillable, and was a real terror, and pretty much helped them plow through that Judgment tournament. It was actually pretty impressive. But one of the interesting things going to be to see from the USA team, as we're calling it, the blue team over here, is they have Otter in for Texi. So Texi was a champ. He actually was the MVP of Judgment 1 pool. He was playing really good in the fives. His team was actually pretty stacked for Judgment 2. Didn't do as well there. But he is out. Otter is back in. They were able to find him. He wasn't disappearing in Seattle or Port Arthur, wherever the hell he was. He was
wherever
not
the hell he was
in a trash can somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So he's in here, but how are they gonna set up their team? Because Texi was obviously top. Otter, typically you would expect to be AD and I believe Satsulo, they had him going mid. He was actually being really successful. They've picked up Oriana. More than likely, he's going to be mid. So are they going to put Dark Terrors top? How are they actually going to end up, where are they going to put Dark Terrors? That's going to be the key. And if they put Dark Terrors top, I haven't seen him play a lot of top. I don't know how good his top is.
He'll probably play. Actually, it depends on where Satsulo's going. I wouldn't. My guess is that they're going to put Dark Terrors top. He's well known for playing Oriana and Swain in that mid to solo lane. So we'll see. Looks like we are going to see a Mumu here, and we know Satsulo ends up playing.
It's the ghost of Texi. They're thinking York.
There it is, the ghost of Texi playing York. But we know Satsulo plays like an Anivia and Oriana type mid, and he's kind of he's a convert basically because he's a jungler and a support player. But because of the way they had to adjust their roster to allow for Matt Kopp, Evil Cookie, who's going to step up and play support, they had him go from the jungle because that's Kabam's. That's where Kabam is going to play, and so they've had him convert to a mid. And it would be interesting. I don't know if Dark Terrors has much gameplay as Jace, but Jace would be a strong pick. I know he's pretty overpowerful.
I feel like that's kind of like in his wheelhouse, like someone he would play. Like when I was thinking about like what would Dark Terrors play top, I was thinking it'd probably be something like Jace that feels like kind of his style, like what he likes to play, and it's still kind of a ranged character where he plays a really mean AD, so he'd be able to work that pretty well. And it looks like. I don't think that's actually a Soraka pick.
A Battle Raka?
Yeah. Mochi Balls has joined the purple team. Not going to happen.
And now a Lulu pick would not surprise me. But it looked like they could be playing a mobility comp with the Sivir, Nunu, Lulu. They all have movement speed increases. You throw in a Shirelia's, you have quite a bit of mobility. You've also got nice ways to engage with the Malphite ult. You've got Morgana, who's just a solid staple in mid. So I think they're going to run Morgana mid, Lulu top, unless they 2v1, which is what we might see, and we don't know for sure, obviously. And then over here, Jace, who could also, shouldn't have that much trouble in a 1v2 scenario. So I don't know if that's something we would see, but they're definitely playing a heavy AoE composition. We've got Otter playing Corki, who's between Corki and Ezreal, those are his staple AD carries. And and that's how he got to 2,400, 2,500. It was just really steamrolling in the bot lane as, Corki and Ezreal, and I think it's probably Graves is probably a little bit in there too, but we didn't see Graves this match. Definitely see some mobility. I'd say in terms of AoE composition, you've got a Mumu Sona. That's so much AoE CC. The real question will be what kind of DPS will they be able to protect and keep Otter alive with that? He'll have the Valkyrie, so he'll definitely have good positioning. And Jace, you don't have to be a great Jace player to throw down that Hypergate, which is just like, hey, look, not only are we good at level 1, it's good. It's like you free Shirelias early on, so we'll definitely see how well Dark Terrors has been practicing as Jace.
You mentioned the 2v1. I definitely think we could see that because I know there was a game where I believe it was VVV versus Forlorn Hope or whatever, and Forlorn Hope tried to run the 2v1, and VVV was like, no, we know how to run this better, and took down their bottom and their top turret before they could even get a turret. So, and they did it with Sivir, so that could be a pretty heavy possibility. We might see Altec and Roshan now in that top lane and just push really, really hard on that top turret, take it down really quickly. Although,
yeah, there's actually I don't think all the photos from EoS have been posted yet, but there's a photo of me having a conversation with Roshan and Altec. Right then, where we're talking about the 2v1 strat and how it works, and at first Roshan was like, yeah, they tried this cheese comp, and Altec and I are like, actually, it's kind of a legit strategy, and then we kind of went back and forth and talked about it. It was really cool. The best part about EoS isn't about just the competition. It isn't just about the games, because you can play
in general.
Yeah, you could play League of Legends anywhere. I mean, I could play from my own home. I could cast from my own home. It doesn't cost me any money to play. And so why go and pay money to play League of Legends at a different event? And really, what you see is that atmosphere where you get to meet the players face to face, you get to shake hands. I mean, like, it's just a really cool overall positive environment, and I think it definitely has a place. I know you and I are going to be working in the future to try and bring that together a little more often, whether it's going to the big LAN events. I know Vancouver will be back. We've got GotaCon in February. Intel runs their LAN Fest. We're going to try and get down into Portland for their PDX events. I think G&W just went down this weekend. So Dark Terrors might be sleep deprived. But I think that's going to be the best way to operate those. Those are typically a little bit cheaper, they're a little bit more casual, they're a lot of fun. So LAN events definitely have their place in League of Legends. Obviously it's not MLG or PAX like the qualifiers, but for all of us to get together and play in a P. And what we did here is we took the best players from the Pacific Northwest, in my mind. As Elo would help back that up a little bit, but here the best players here in the Pacific Northwest got a chance to get them, have them play face to face. So it's going to be great. Personally, I mean, this whole series, this whole event, I'm excited to watch the finals here come to a conclusion. We've got Cash, RP, and Razor Gear to hook up with the winning team.
Yeah, we do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors that helped us out here. Alienware, obviously a major sponsor, providing all the computers that we use there for the players. Corsair, Razer, obviously throwing in a lot of prizes for the players. Intel throwing in some processors, that was super awesome. We also had Kingston, Cooler Master, and Thermaltake. Special big shout out to all those guys for making these LAN tournaments possible and providing all these awesome prizes for people to come in and win. I have to say, like, this is one of, like, as far as like tournaments go, LAN tournaments go, we had a pretty stacked sponsorship for just a League of Legends event, because a lot of LANs you go to, there's like all sorts of there's all sorts of games. There's StarCraft 2, there's League of Legends, there's Battlefield, there's all sorts of stuff, and this was just League of Legends stuff down there, and we had a lot of awesome support from these sponsors. So if you guys have a chance, go tweet at them, thank them for supporting local esports, because that is really, really huge for us if we want to throw more local events like these and make them super awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it when Monster Energy showed up, set up their big tent inside like the room. The Monster Energy girl was like, "Do you want some monsters?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want a monster!" And I'm like, yeah. Oh man, it was definitely a long event for us, but I think even though I may not have smiled as much as I would have loved to at the event, I definitely enjoyed being around all those players. I definitely enjoyed having the event, being there, coordinating it, we had AOD there. That was cool. We set up an interviewing station so we could take photos of the players, between matches and actually get a chance to record those interviews and take those photos, which all turned out in these really hilarious, funny memes. So yeah, I mean, that's this type of stuff you just don't get from playing a game, from your home, from your home by yourself. So right now we do have a pause here. I think Otter's crashed or something. I mean, that's
standard.
Otter may be one of the best players in the Pacific Northwest, but his internet is like literally 1200 elo. Like if internet had an elo, his would be unranked. So those players are gonna go ahead and get this figured out. You and I, Callan, not unaccustomed to the pause feature. We saw a lot of it at EoS. We had switches go in and out. It kind of takes away from the gameplay, but it was...
Well, the good part is that actually at EoS we actually had, obviously we talked about AOD was there. They were releasing their brand new album. So we had a ton of great new music to actually play. It's kind of like intermission music. But we are live. We are getting started. Here we go. Game 1. This is a best-of-3 series between these two teams for the finals, for the cash, for the prize. I actually have some giant novelty EoS checks at my place currently that...
do you have the big board checks?
Yes. So one of these teams is going to get it. But again, to fill you in, Team Gameclucks is going to be representing the U.S. here in our little mock U.S. versus Canada matchup. And Hoi Hoi will be the red team representing Canada.
So both teams moving out. When you take a look at these junglers, there's no real... I mean, Long Lee actually I didn't even think about that. I completely blanked on. I thought, oh, Nunu is going to be. I just immediately thought Nunu was going to be running support with Sivir just to have that massive move speed between her passive and Blood Boil. But no, he's going to be getting in there. He's going to be taking those, whether it's a big Wraith or whether it's, ooh, look at this. Blue team is already set up for this. They're going to see a lot of pings go down around a ball.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Hey, guys.
I mean, it's almost like it's almost fitting that it's Satsuo there because whenever we run judgment tournaments, he always gives away his strategies, and Longley actually gave away his strategy. He was like, "I'm just going to counter jungle this," and they expected having a Nunu on the other end of the board, and they're still going to come in here. Roshan now, I have to say, probably one of the better early game level 1 kind of captains for these kind of invasions and team movements. So they might have thought they got spotted out, and they're fine now that they saw him. They backed off. But in here they come. Satsuo's going to be in a lot of trouble. There comes the slow. There comes the Dark Binding. Lights out. First blood. And I'm telling you, man, Roshan now, like he can run that level 1 so well. I mean, and even when he senses invasions.
Did he take his Ice Ball? Or did he grab Consume first? He does have Consume, so he'll be able to Consume Smite this, take this, no problem. Everybody else is going to be able to get back to lane. And right now, Altec starting off with that first blood gold. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how you want. We actually had one game, I believe it was the first game of the 5v5, when the two Canada teams went against each other. And at level 1, they engineered double buff and 2 kills onto Altec to start the game, which was like pretty much GG at that point. The other team knew it. But in this case, it's not quite that bad. It's just a kill. They will have their work cut out for them, but again, they do have Otter on their team, so I mean, this should be a game and a half, and I'm really excited to see how this ends up panning out. Altec under a lot of pressure because Roshan now a little bit late to lane so far, but man, I can't wait for this game to really start to escalate because already drawing first blood. Hoi hoi.
And just taking a look at summoners that might have been or not burnt, and really the only thing that was burnt was Morgana's Ignite. So still full load of summoners up for if bot lane begins to start exchanging, or even if top lane, if we start to see a gank. Nunu has already taken that second, that blue buff and donated it to Morgana in mid. So she's basically going to be wanting to push and harass here for free. And if that's the case, she might be able to get out of lane and make a play, whether it's top or bot.
Yeah, I mean, both of these champions actually, they take a while to level up, but once they, get some points into their spells, they can actually clear these waves, and both push really, really hard, and they both have some good potential to actually roam around the map. Orianna actually, with that speed buff, can actually use that command dissonance to actually get around the map really, really quickly and surprise a lot of opponents. So I believe if Morgana does get out of lane, there's actually a lot of potential for Satsuo to actually chase her and run her down and help out and almost counter gank the rotations.
We're seeing quite a bit of harass here go down on Altec, and so right now Otter and Evil Cookie doing a great job with the harass. That's going to be the scary part, is when does a Mumu make and show himself? And right now we see Nunu.
Wow, Longley coming down. They actually don't have wards, or actually did have one ward.
They did have a ward,
but they didn't react to it quite right away, and they're actually going to be fine. They should be able to get out of this turret fine. Evil Cookie's going to take a lot of damage for that, but overall Otter's still up. He's still good.
I wasn't quite sure if Morgana was actually stealing those Wraiths or just double checking, but if anything, it would be able to reset that camp. And right now we just see Hichu, aka Bishu, just doing his best to farm. Almost 30 creep stats right here. Oh, and a misplay in bot lane. Looks like Evil Cookie just popped his flash.
Oh no!
On accident. And Roshan calling him out. Sorry if you can't see it in chat. Nothing other than, hey, I see what you did there, bro.
Those itchy trigger figures, nice little dark bending landed underneath turret for that harassment. Very, very, very well done by Bishu in that middle lane. Looks like Dark Terror's doing a decent job against Claymore, just trying to put in some harassment, back him off. But they look like they're set up for a farm fest at this point in the game until one of them can get advantage or get a gank in here.
Now Nunu is, probably going to rotate back to base. He's going to probably grab a gold for 10 item here. Yep, he just picked up his Philo. I would not be surprised to see him Looks like he didn't have enough for awards, so he might run down through bot. I was going to say, because they stole the blue team's blue buff at 7 minutes, they have a couple options. They can go back and reinvade to prevent Orianna from having that blue buff. They can also, based on where they decide to ward and counter ward, they might be able to make a play for Dragon. If the Team USA decides to overcommit to defending that. It's really kind of mind games. That's what level 1 is all about, is just setting up the game for, setting up the beginning of the game, whether it's grabbing an advantage. Ooh, and Altec just landing boomerangs that are...
They actually do have a ward in this brush, and I don't think that Roshan now or Altec saw it.
Well,
otherwise,
Morgana
they should have been calling it out. And Morgana rotating down in. She's going to start the Soul Shackle. And Evil Cookie without that flash, he's going nowhere. And that is a nice little catch out there by the Hoi Hoi team right now. And looks like they're rotating up here. I don't think... It looks like they are pinging for it. They are going to do dragons. They're going to do a really early dragon possibly with that consume. And a Mumu and Orianna rotating to try to stop this. They don't want to give up an early dragon. That would be, that's really bad. You don't want to get too far on the back foot early. But they have some potential to come in here and try to support it. But Otter hasn't come rotated up yet. They're going to see that. Morgana's actually going to lead off with a Dark Binding. Come in there, has the pool. There's a snowball trying to chase him down. Dragon's still putting in some damage, a lot of aggro. They're not going to be able to kill it, and they're actually going to be able to stop that dragon with no one dying. So good work there. That is the danger of that early dragon. Dragon does a lot of damage. You don't deal enough DPS to take him out. And great job there by the Team Gameclucks.
Yeah. It looks like Kabam, here, Momo just a little behind here. He's level 4 and is probably going to want to try and pick up some experience. Nunu already 5. And so, this is where he could get counter jungled. And this is what they were talking about, was just really stealing these camps. And as we approach the 8-minute mark, blue buff for the blue team is going to respawn.
And Kabam sees it. He was waiting for that steal, but he's not able to do anything about it with that consume. Orianna tried to come in here, but Hichu's right there to actually back him off. And actually still lands a Dark Binding. And that was actually threading the needle right there.
Oh, what I didn't think was they might not have cleared that camp completely. And so this is a great play here because they know that the blue buff will be delayed for the blue team. And I'm also wondering what they're going to do with the Malphite teleport.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of support potential. I think maybe they might be waiting for something in the bottom lane because Otter, he does play that that bot lane a little bit aggressively. They also have Evil Cookie there. They might be waiting for just them to decide, hey, let's engage, and then right then they'll come in. They actually have a ward down here in the brush already. That's probably going to fall off pretty soon, but they might wait for a moment like that and then rotate in there. And look like here we go, Longley already coming in, but they have the wards for it. They're going to slow it down, but it looks like they might pick on Evil Cookie again. Looks like that's where they're putting their damage, but he is perfectly fine. Being able to back off out of this. So good wards coming in here. Longley taking a lot of damage coming through here. And Hichu's actually going to go back to lane as well. But lots of team rotation here as we see from both teams. Both teams, rotating to support themselves. Don't want to give that numbers mismatch. But the advantage actually does, like we talked about earlier, that teleport does go to Team Hoi Hoi, the red team, if they want to come down because they do have that teleport. Jace is going to be able to get in there.
Yeah, it's really going to be what they decide to sacrifice, because once he teleports out, Jace will probably just focus on pushing that top lane, which is kind of really the best thing he can do, because he's not going to be able to come down for a dragon fight. What would be in his best interest would be if Dark Terrors could push this lane, just absolutely shove it, and then maybe get back to base, because Malphite's not really going to push a lane that quickly, and Malphite's probably looking to just freeze.
Yeah.
So Nunu, with the early Oracle, has the timer.
Soul Shackle was popped, and actually Satsudo was able to flash to get out of it. Now it's backing off, and now it looks like Hichu just trying to waste time. But Malphite coming in right after Kabam engages. They get a lot of damage onto Hichu, but the Dark Binding will land. There is the Unstoppable Force coming in there, and will they be able to pick up Satsudo? It's going to be very, very close. Claymore really wants this. He is going to be able to pick it up, might be able to get a double kill, but he's still taking turret shots and the Ignite. It looks like Claymore might go down here. It's going to be very, very close. Jason's rotating there. Will he be able to clear it out? He just barely misses that shot.
Oh.
Flash out by Claymore. Claymore's going to be able to get out of this, and Longley runs. He's really wants to keep that Oracle. He does not want to lose it here. He should be able to escape out of there with that slow. Nothing else following it up, but great work right there.
Delicious.
Yeah, so good play by Dark Terrors, who just, once Malphite left lane, was able to come down, full health from just harassing Malphite and having a real strong matchup so early on, and was able to pick off Bishu.
Yeah, I mean, great pickoff there, but, you know, the Hoi Hoi team that came in there, they were still able, I believe they still got the blue buff. Oh, no, they didn't. Jace actually was able to pick off because they traded off. Never mind. But they were able to come in there and still able to get some kills off on Satsulo, and actually, Nudu actually went to middle lane in absolute zero to push the wave to try to deny a little experience away from Satsulo.
Taking a quick look at creep stats, we see Corki killing it, 87, same with Jace here. So in terms of for just looking at creep stats and farm, Team USA coming out on top for just the CS, and then we're kind of falling behind here. Even a Mumu is up to 50 CS. Also going the Kabam build, which does not build GP10 items. He likes to rush. Oh, Claymore just getting easily harassed here by Dark Terror, especially with that blue buff. But the build that Kabam likes to go with, and we'll see here in a second, once Otter...
Oh wow, Longley taking a lot of damage in there underneath that turret. Actually going to get ulted by Lulu, so he's actually going to be able to survive this and keep that. Meanwhile, a kill in middle. Hichu able to pick some off, and now we're actually going to see Bichu rotate down here. He's going to be able to come in behind them after they press this turret. They're able to pick up a kill, but if they want to make something happen, they might have something here. Hichu's going to come in here. He's going to throw down his pool. Misses Evil Cookie. Evil Cookie was dead to rights, but was able to just barely get out of the way of that Dark Binding and save himself.
So, you know, unfortunately, Satsulo not having the best game right now. Did get harassed and then picked off solo, but Corki was able to pick up Longli and also grab that Oracle. Uh-oh, and Claymore might have had a little bit of a lag here, but he's in a lot of trouble.
Ooh, there's that Slows coming in here. He's going for the kill. Uses his ult actually to stall him underneath the turret. That was actually really great play by Claymore. And he's actually having himself a little bit of a game here, actually looking pretty good. Unless he gets caught here, this could be trouble. He might get jumped to the skies. It's not going to be enough. And Claymore will be able to get out of this with his life. Waste as much time for that turret as he can. You know, kind of interesting here, the farm is in their favor, but if you look at the gold, at least in every lane, for the most part, it was pretty much in the favor until that last skirmish where Otter was able to actually pick up some kills there, or a kill there. You know, Outsec was still ahead, even though he was down the CS. So blue team, they've gone back. They're buying up. They're getting back out on the map. It looks like Hoi Hoi's game plan has been to control buffs, but we haven't quite seen it much yet out of that after that early game. Dragon hasn't gone down yet. Wards are still up very much. There's we see the aggressive ward up by Raze to actually get vision on that to try to track Kabam through the jungle and possibly open up some counter jungling possibilities. But really interested to see where they decide to go from here, because right now we're just kind of having the standard game, both teams going back to lane, going to farm back up in this game. And like you said, though, you know, Gameclucks doing a little bit better job in the laning phase so far, as far as creep score goes.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is Team USA play conservative, where they have the, you know, in most cases, unless they have an advantage, and what they're going to try to do is set up. Ooh, and I'm just sitting there watching that double buff on Otter and how much that would be a pain to go against. and then what they're going to be waiting on is Kabam saying, "Hey, look, a Momo ult is ready. Let's make a play," and he's going to call it. And then whether it's for an objective, whether it's to counter initiate.
Oh, trying to be able to get that slow up on Otter. He's holding on to that Valkyrie though, so he knows he's not in trouble. Just gonna sit in the paint. There's another kill in middle, and you know, Hichu, he's having a game and a half here actually against Satsulo. Satsulo, you know, he had a great game, all fives. Felt really, really good about his mid play, but going against a player of this caliber, obviously Hichu just, you know, has him dead to rights right now.
Yeah, and I'm watching him play, and typically Orianna has a strong matchup against Morgana. Except the fact that they were able to donate that early blue buff, and then it's just constant blue buff for Morgana, and really Satsulo hasn't had much chance, you know, hasn't had that opportunity. If we take a look at his build, he's probably going for Athene's Holy Grail. He does have that Chalice, and he's working toward. I would say at some point he might be working towards it.
Yeah, and you know, just watching Bichu here, he does a lot of plays where he actually waits common rotation points or just out of vision. He knows where the vision points are on the map, so he can actually stay out and look to rotate on the map or check out what's going on, but not actually be inside of his opponents. And actually, it's actually really cool to actually watch him play and creep around here as he's doing right now. He knows this turret is gone. He's actually rotated down here, maybe looking to possibly catch Kabam in rotation. And actually, no, they're going straight for Satsulu again. They're going to pick on him even more. He's going to probably use distance here to get a little bit disciplined. Oh, wow, the cavalry has arrived. 4v2, they're going to want to get out of this. They might be in a lot of trouble here. Longley trying to distract as much as he can. It looks like it's going to work. It looks like they're going to be able to pull out, except for Jace rotating down in here. And now they know they have Bishi probably somewhere down here, but they're not going for it. Actually, it looks like they're going to go and focus on this middle turret. The rest of Red Team is collapsing, except for Altec. They're going for this middle turret as hard as they can, and now they know they see Bichu behind them, and we might see a full rotation on him. Everybody trying to track him down. I don't know if this was the best idea. Satsulu's ult is going to miss. He has a flash in his bag, and oh my gosh, Kabam's bandage toss just barely misses as well for Mamumu, and Bichu's actually going to be able to get out of this.
Yeah, just a little bit of misdirection here, somewhat of a Kansas City shuffle, although we now see Dragon being contested. Blue team will have vision of this. It looks like they do want to make a somewhat of a defensive stop, but I don't think it's going to be...
They're going to have no smite, and they're not going to have him there, so they're basically giving up that Dragon.
But, right now it's still anyone's game, even with that Dragon and the 3-kill advantage. They're only, not even quite 3K ahead. So if we, looking just at items are still fairly similar where they need to be in terms of items. On terms of the carries. And then it looks like Canada team is going to go ahead and pick up this Revenge bot turret to add a little bit more to that advantage. I'm also looking at Jace here, almost 40 CS ahead of Malphite. Yeah, but Malphite rocking triple gold per 10. So I think that kind of evens out.
Yeah, knowing Claymore, it's very much in his playstyle. Whenever he plays tops, is he wants to go that gold per 10 route. It seems like in a lot of his builds, he actually plays Cho'Gath pretty much the same way, where he goes pretty heavy gold per 10 items and then rotates that into a later game build.
Yeah, he's actually 600 gold ahead of
Dark
Jace. Yeah, and obviously some of that's going to be from
Dragon.
Yeah.
The extra base turret they also have as well. Feed into that. But you tell, the Canada team, the Red team, they're very, very focused on these objectives here on the map, and they've been putting a lot of effort into rotating around the enemy jungle, trying to pick off stuff. They're not playing this very passively. They know their opponents are good, so they know that they can't just straight up lane with them and want to come out even. They want to do something to get ahead.
I can tell you right now, Kabam loves a good chess match, and because we're starting to see these mind games, it's really going to be who can get the enemy team split and get them out of position. And even though the Canada team is playing the aggressor, the way these guys are counter-initiating,
Claymore's rotating down in there, and they want all parts of this. Hichu trying to catch on to Otter. Otter very, very low here, coming back here, trying to put out some damage, but it looks like Longley trying to get on him, but he's actually very, very low. That Dark Binding just barely missing. Altec's going to flash in and be able to pick up that kill. Malphite coming in there, popping everybody up. Satsula's going to fall, and there's no extra damage to pack this up. Claymore trying to get out of here. He's using his flash to try to get out of this, and Morgana backing him up, able to pick off a Mumu right there, Kabam, and that is some great teamwork right there. Like it's almost chaotic, but they can trust each other that their teammates are gonna be there to get their back. And I would love to play on this red team right now. If I was Claymore, typically most games when you dive underneath a turret and you see your AD and your support just straight up back off, you don't expect any other support under there. And I thought he probably might have been dead. But, luckily for him, he has a really, really strong mid laner that came in there, was waiting for it, protected him, and is even able to pick off a kill on Kabam. Use that as kind of a pseudo bait right there.
Yeah, that was a big win for them. They've now extended that goal lead to about 5K. And, they did pick up Longley, so Nunu did go down, so they've lost another Oracle. But I think he's been able to kind of pay for that in spades. Just kind of getting around the map and just kind of doing a little bit of counter jungle. He's also rocking double gold per 10.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I know, talking to a lot of these players too, they were telling me too, like even if you pick off the oracles on the jungler, the thing they hate is like the persistent jungler that still goes back and buys another oracle, because you feel so vindicated, like you feel like you got a major objective when you take off the oracle, but when they just go back and buy another one, yeah, sure, it's kind of putting them behind, but still the whole point is you want to get rid of that oracle and hope that they don't keep trying to buy them so they can remove a lot of this vision. Because if we look now for Team Kabam, they're pretty much in their own jungle. They only have one ward on their blue. Otherwise, they don't have a lot of vision of the map, where Red Team actually has nice spread vision of Blue Team's jungle.
Yeah, and it looks like Roshan now picking up another oracle, and they really want to keep, even they have an advantage. Ooh. Wow, I'm trying to figure out how he knew he might have been walking through there.
Dude,
there we
seriously,
go.
I have to tell.
What timing?
I have to tell you, dude, he is good. Like he waits in those spots so often. Like if I was a player and I was studying him, I would always I would keep that mid brush warded, because he likes to hide in those spots a lot with his vision, and he likes to try to make plays catching people in rotation, and it's something that's been really successful in this game. We can obviously see here.
And we go Roshan coming through here, playing these wards. I think we're going to see Dragon respawn here soon. My guess is that they're going to want to extend their lead by taking care of that Dragon objective and just kind of methodically pick away here at the USA team, or catch them out of position with that mobility that they have between Lulu, Sivir, and Nunu if he's nearby.
Yeah, we actually see Claymore doing a little bit of Wolf Camp steal right there. Just insult to injury at this point. Just getting more and more ahead, trying to give him as little possible ways to get back in this, little ways to farm and whatnot. And yeah, more warding coming down for the red team, as their vision is so strong right now. Blue team is basically completely in the dark. Every move they make on the map is it's going to be super tentative for them. And if Kabam wants to make a call to go in, he's just going to have to, it's going to be a guess. It's like, is this the best move? Should I throw my bandage toss here? It's kind of a rough situation to be in if you're behind down like this against a really good team.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he wants to make a play here. They saw Sivir bot. They thought they might have a chance. And putting a little bit of harass here, but I don't know if they actually want to engage in a full-on team fight. Sivir is going to be here shortly. The best thing would be to not eat a Dark Binding and then just disengage if at all possible. And what I'd really like to see is Satsulo land a good solid ult. I don't think he's had a solid ult land all game. Typically he's only been hitting like one or two players, or in some cases he missed. Ooh.
Yeah, the key actually for ults, especially like Orianna's, is a little bit of patience. It's part of it is like you may want a good initiation, but a lot of it too is just like waiting for them to almost forget you have it and throw it after the team fight's been going on for like a couple seconds, and that usually will yield a better result than trying to use it right away, like throwing.
So they're focusing Kabam here.
Yeah, Evil Cookie, Satsulo and Evil Cookie are going to be popped up here. They're trying to get to Otter. Otter's doing a good job of kiting right here. Actually putting a lot of damage on long lead, but he's actually going to be caught underneath that absolute zero. He's going to take the full brunt of that. They're actually going to trade Bishu for that. Kabam actually really low here. There is that ult from Satsulo a little bit late in here. Altec's going to fall after dealing out some damage, and now Red Team's on the hunt. They're trying to catch up here. Lulu's going to be able to pick that off, and we see Dark Terrors just trying to run away as best as he can. Evil Cookie hiding out here, going to blue pill back to base. And pretty much a full trade by both teams right there. Pretty even trade right there, except for Roshan now. He's going to put some pressure on this turret because he can.
Oh, Dark Terror might have saw an opportunity.
Oh, wow. Claymore getting really aggressive underneath these turrets. They do have the 2v1, though, so he's pretty relatively safe.
He does have the Ninja Tabby. He does have some fire cape. He is sitting at right about 175 armor. I think at some point he's going to be moving into a Frozen Heart. That's kind of like, as Malphite, you're like, that's my bread and butter item. I don't care when I get it, how I get it, preferably sooner rather than later. But Frozen Heart is the item. It gives you that cooldown reduction, gives you that master armor. It makes you pretty much an invincible tank, and you don't even care about turret shots. So,
yeah, looking really quickly at gold, we have almost a 1,400 gold advantage for Altec on the AD side. Almost a 2k advantage for Bishu in mid lane, and then top lane actually 1,400 for Claymore as well. Just those team objectives and overall just outweighing the farm that's been able to come out of Dark Terrors in the meantime. Even though Dark Terrors is 2-2, he's having a pretty good game. Still doesn't quite match up to those gold pretends that they're still racking up for Claymore at this point.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to try and do, outside of picking up this dragon, is they're going to try and set up a teleport with Malphite. It is available, so we might see him split. Although blue team is headed towards Baron, they've got to know that the red team is picking up dragon for free.
It looks like they might be actually picking for top turret at this point. You know, they would have had to collapse really, really fast for Baron, but it looks like they're actually going to go for top turret, try to get some team gold that way, cut into a little bit of this lead. But one thing I definitely know from the red team is they'll actually stall this as much as they can top if they have a choice. It looks like Claymore actually might face check.
Spider sense is tingling.
Yeah. He's like, it's not safe. And it looks like, this is what red team will do all day long. They're going to hard push mid, and they're also going to have Altec pushing down this bottom turret. And Altec can do this by himself. I've seen him so many times teams try to deal with this mid push, and Altec will actually push all the way to the inhibitor if you'll let him. And it looks like they're actually going to get this mid turret, and this is all in red team's favor right now. They can rotate down, help out Altec. Altec's going to get another turret, so 2 turrets for 1 at this point. Defender into this jungle with no vision. Oh, miscommunication. Claymore actually going in ahead of time, saw it move onto Otter. They didn't quite pull it off yet, and now they're actually re-collapsing back onto Dark Terrors. There's the flip going off. Absolute Zero canceled in there. Red team bunching up quite a bit. Otter doing a lot of damage underneath that wall with those rockets, but red team is overall just a lot more tanky than their opponents. Evil Cookie, very, very low here, is going to fall as well. Double kill for Altec. And red team should be able to push down this mid turret.
So Claymore, the guy that basically set it up, paid for all of the Canadian guys to come down, paid their tournament fee and their entry, just because he wanted to hang out and meet Long Lee and a few of these guys. Just getting saved there from potential throw. He's probably sort of thinking like, ooh, well, I think we wanted to go in. I thought I saw an opportunity.
Well, actually, you know what? Like, it ended up being the correct move. I mean, I guess they're ahead enough, and he's tanky enough. I mean, he was able to survive through it. He did get the Lulu ult donated to him as well to survive through that. So I guess that's a little bit of extra bonus. But he ate a lot of cooldowns. He ate some damage, some focus. But really, it would have been better, obviously, if his team was there to follow it up. But, those moments do happen. Luckily, it came out still in favor of the red team. And they're sitting pretty healthy here with about almost looks like a 10K lead, or 11K lead, actually, at this point.
Yeah, Bishu actually just really doing a ton of damage. I think he's not quite 16 yet, but has that Zonias, which was just key. It was crucial. He stood there. He caught Corky and Evil Cookie on Sona. Within the all, he was able to zone them out. It's just he's kind of becoming a real terror. I mean, he's been a real terror all game. Yeah. But it's getting worse and worse as they go down.
The rest of the team's basically feeling the terror now. It's not just Satsulo that's had to deal with it for most of the game. Now they're like, uh-oh, this is a big problem. And really, at this point, blue team, their best hope is actually to kind of stall this out a little bit at this point. Because at this point, if they try to engage with red team's gonna lights out them, and they have no vision on this.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have... I mean, we're going to see Baron here about half health. They're going to see a little bit of poke, but they're not going to be able to steal here with Consume and Smite from Long Lee.
Yeah, Kabam. Oh, Kabam's going to go for it. He misses his bandage toss, so that's not going to happen. Red team full up there. There's the Orianna ult. Actually, a lot of focus on the Roshan now. Roshan now might survive. Dark Terror's actually focused on him. I don't know if that's going to matter. They really need to get onto Otter if they can. Otter taking a lot of damage. Claymore trying to get him. He's going to die to the Ignite. Now we have the rest of the team spreading out here. And a lot of the key members still up for the red team, at least carry-wise. And Bishu, he's on the hunt. He wants... Oh! The fail Valkyrie! Now it's going to be... Oh, will he be able to get... No, the flash comes back out. And he's going to actually miss this. And, nice little chase down there. And there we have it. Altec and Roshan now do what they do best, pushing lanes together. Best friends forever.
I guarantee you Dark Terrors would like the last 10 seconds of that fight back. He saw Lulu at really low health with that Oracles, and she's in Yordle, just basically global taunt, and he went all in and got kited with the ult, and then basically Saber just rocking and doing a lot of damage. So wasn't really contributing to much of that fight. And
really, Yeah,
The second
unfortunate
hit going
focus.
down, they still got Baron buff on 3 of their members. Things are looking really well here in Game 1 for the Team Canada.
Yeah, overall, I mean, they've pretty much played everything, really, really well. I don't think they've made a big, huge blunder at any point in this game. Which, again, with players of this caliber, I mean, that's nothing to feel bad about. Like if they just play a game really, really well and don't make any mistakes, there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, the blue team very, very well in their own regard, but I mean, once they got that first little advantage, red team hasn't let up pretty much all game.
Yeah, I think if we see Satsulo disconnect, it might be his twin brother hopping on. His twin brother, Robert, actually plays mid very well. Plays a pretty solid mid. I think his zero is pretty strong. Actually, most of his mid champions are really strong. So you never know. We could see some hidden ringers here. I'm pretty sure the Canadians wouldn't mind.
I mean, they're basically twins, so they're the same person, right? I mean, like,
exactly,
it's not
right?
like it's not really a different person. But I kind of feel for him because he actually did have a really good tournament. Like, anybody that's watching this now, it's like this Satsuma guy's getting crushed. He sucks. No, like, he played an amazing tournament. He was kicking butt. Pretty much the entire thing in judgment tournaments as well, doing some serious work. And he was even surprised. He's like, "Wow, I'm doing really, really good." There were some seriously good players here. I mean, obviously, all these players there as well, scattered throughout the pools that he had to play against. But he actually did play a good mid. It's not. It's not like he's not just a terrible player. Like, just having one of those games where, you go against a really good player like Bishu with a champion that he knows and plays really, really well, and stuff happens.
And I'm just, Altac has pretty much reached his end game build. He's got IE, Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, and while he could upgrade his Doran's Blade into something else, he's also got that Quicksilver Sash. So Sivir's kind of her big thing is she doesn't have a Valkyrie or a way to create distance other than possibly using her ult or movement speed. But you throw in that spell shield that she has and you throw in a Quicksilver Sash, and she's got quite a bit of mobility. She can kite, and right now they don't have any real gap closers that's going to be able to chase Sivir down. So she's relatively safe in almost every team situation. Doesn't even need to be real peel.
I mean they're the ones that are probably going to get initiated on in this case. So to track her down is going to be pretty hard. Plus the fact they also have area denial with Absolute Zero from Nunu in the team fights when they set it up. So, like you said, it's going to be really, really hard for them to actually get to her. And to the skies, unfortunately, it's not really that much of a gap closer. It's like you jumped like a foot in front of you, but you did it like really dramatically. That's basically to the skies.
So I know if at any point they would want to create a team fight, Claymore would definitely start that. He's probably waiting for his flash, which is up in about 10 seconds. He's got 369 armor, turret shots. Don't do anything.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like they're playing this so well. Like you see Kabam go in there so many times, and he's good at landing bandage tosses, and they're just looking for it, and they're spreading out every single time, and not even giving Kabam a chance to start a fight if he even wanted to. It's complete. Everything's pretty much on their terms this game, and now they're actually going to catch up Kabam there. Altek putting a lot of damage on him, pushing him under the turret. There in goes Claymore, putting a lot of damage, taking a lot of damage from turrets. Getting that Lulu ult yet again, and Evil Cookie jumping in there for the kill, wants to get that victory kill. Trying to go in there, and there's the flash Soul Shackle by Bichu, seeing a big huge bullseye on Otter, but he's not able to catch it. He's actually going to Hourglass underneath turret and red team. I don't know how this is working out here. This is not working out for them very, very well. They've kind of throwing this one at this point. I mean, I don't think they're gonna lose the game, but that was probably the first overconfidence play that I've seen. Yeah.
We have 3 inhibitors and both your Nexus turrets, and we're gonna just go ahead and sacrifice ourselves, and kind of right now they're gonna go into game 2 with a lot of confidence, and this game is definitely over. I've never seen a comeback from triple inhibitor. I don't think we will see a comeback.
With players of this high caliber, I've never seen it ever. Like, against bots, against some normal games, it's possible. We've been in some of those with our group of friends, but at this level, you're probably not gonna see it.
Quick recap as we start thinking about, because this is a best of 3.
Yes.
Teams will probably switch sides. I'm not quite sure if maybe the losing team gets to decide. I mean, we'll have to check the captains.
Losing team gets to decide, yeah.
So, we might see Team USA stick with the blue side. They may want to try counter. They may want to try purple side and go counter picking. But I mean, right now, I mean, they were doing well in farming in terms of bot and top. Kabam did pretty well. I just want to say that Satslo didn't have a great game, but I know at one point I was looking at his CS, and even though he didn't have the same amount of kills, Bishu here's a victory pause from Corky.
From Otter.
Or anti-victory pause.
So the question is like, so game planning. If you're the USA team, does Kabam really want to prove that Amumu's worth it and try to outplay them at level 1 again and make sure he doesn't get counter jungle? Because that was kind of the key to it. They thought they were all prepped for it. They're like, all right, they backed off. Then they got caught again. Claymore coming in here, catch him out yet again. Victory formation team fight, as you said right there. That is a massive soul shackle, putting a lot of damage on the enemy team. Evil Cookie able to get out of him. He's going to fall right away. And Jace, the only one backed up by Otter, hiding in their fountain, the only one's alive, and they're not going to be able to stop this Nexus from going down.
So congratulations, game 1. You're going to go to the Canadian team.
Yep.
And we're going to get right back here in lobby to get game 2 here very shortly.
Yep.